There he is. Yeah, let's fucking go. What's good, everybody? What? Huh? What?
First
What?
time.
Yeah, it did. It did. I don't know if that's a you problem or a me problem still. But
It's always a you problem. I mean, let's
look who's
really
fucking
call it what
talking.
it is.
Look who's fucking
It's a you
talking.
problem. It's me.
Look who's fucking talking.
You
Like
damn Skippy.
like you're not the problem 99% of the time.
No, I'm the solution.
My man. You know that that is not true.
I'm the solution.
You know that is not true.
Take a page out of AI's book. I'm the answer.
Dude, you're such a problem that it's like if we bring you into a current problem, you turn it into a larger problem.
That's fair.
I'm trying to think of the last like 3 or 4 problems I brought you into, and each one of them got worse when you got introduced
You know, that's true.
to it.
Maybe
so,
it's
so
maybe it's me.
listen, I'm just throwing it out there. All right, hold on. Let's see if we can get the betting odds up. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, quick thoughts. Well, I was going to start talking about football, but fuck that. Dr. Eagle, what's good?
Dr. Eagle, what's up?
Excited for some bet talk. Missed y'all last week. Halloween hangover hit me hard. Oh, no. Well, speaking of the hangover, let's talk about Halloween hangovers. Let's talk about hangovers in general. As the Dolphins and Chiefs head to halftime, and the score is 21-0 Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
Dingleberry.
yeah.
Oh, Dingleberry's been in football hell. Oh no, Dingleberry. We'll have to talk about that. But before we do, this man has an apology to make to you all. He has forgiveness to ask, permission to seek. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell the people. Tell the people.
You know, next week,
Uh-huh.
they don't even care. But next week, I won't be on the show.
They do care. They ask me all the time, where's Sterls?
Vegas, baby.
You're degenerate.
I mean, yeah, just maybe a little bit. Problem, degenerate.
Yeah.
What else can we conjure up
Yeah,
today?
listen, man. This is why I can't spend more time with you. I wish I could. But
Thou shalt know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
that was
Right?
messy.
Ain't that what they say?
That was sloppy. It was messy. Clean
Oh,
that
dang.
up. Sterls won't be here next week. So now I got to find somebody who can come in and talk bets with me. But, like, it's got to be somebody who, one, knows what they're talking about. Tough to find.
You have me on the show, so that's
Tough to find.
That's debatable.
Is it debatable? Because this guy knows what he's talking about.
No.
Yeah. You know what you're talking about. You suck at betting, but you know what you're talking about.
No, that's another accurate statement. See,
Yeah.
you're like 4 for 4 today.
I know.
You
don't have to
might
tell
you
me.
might you might win some bets.
I know. You don't have to tell me. You know what you're talking about. You suck at betting. So now I got to find
Sure.
someone who knows what they're talking about at least. Hopefully doesn't suck at betting, but that'll be tough to find. But who knows what they're talking about at least. And then on top of that is fine with the fact that there's 10 of us that hang out in here and talk about bets. Because, like,
See,
I could go...
Dingleberry, look at Dingleberry's comment.
Dingleberry.
See,
So
that's my guy
all
right
the money
there.
and let you handle all my bets. It sounds like
That's
a
right.
sound investment. Really?
Sound.
Okay, let's talk about what your record is this year, Sterls.
Multiply the moolala.
Let's just talk about what your record is this year, Sterls.
It don't matter.
It does matter. It does.
Because you know what? When I come in here with passion, heart, and integrity. Okay? Now, Vegas has a mind of its own. And they operate under false pretenses and stealing people's dreams. It's what they do. That's Vegas for you. As you look at me,
Sterls.
It's just
Sterls.
staring the blank stare.
Sterls. Let's not start the morning off by lying to the people, okay?
You got to be a politician, man.
Listen, I'm very happy that you get to go to Vegas. I hope you slay all kinds of talent there. We do call him Sterls for the girls for a reason. And not because he's attractive. Nope. Not even because women want him. Nope.
Because they do.
Nope.
I don't know why, but they do.
Nope, they don't. But we call him that because his unwavering confidence when going and hitting on these women who aren't attracted to him and don't want to talk to him.
Now, speaking of lies.
Unwavering. Unwavering. And that works on some girls. Let me tell you. That's plenty. That's all some girls need is for you to believe in yourself when you go talk to them. And Sterls shines through with that. Shines through.
Tell the truth.
Shines through with that. But.
You need to tell the truth.
But. Vegas is a whole different animal. Vegas is a whole different animal, boy.
Hey.
Vegas is a whole different animal, boy.
Listen,
That's not hitting on girls in Denver. I'm just telling you right now.
It works. It's proven across the country. It's proven.
You should
it's
see
a proven formula.
You know what? Maybe I'll just have like my girl Heather or someone or like Danny. I'll just be like send me a picture of a dress that you would wear in Vegas. And we can just see the difference compared to what they would be wearing in downtown Denver. It's a whole different ballgame, man. You're on a different level. So tell me, what are you wearing out there? Are we going suits?
Nah.
Because guys our age, when we go to Vegas, you got to throw the money around a little bit. You can't.
You don't.
Purse strings can't be tight on that. Because listen, if the girl to guy ratio is off by even 1, you're paying hundreds of dollars to get into a place.
This is the
and
problem.
then $16 a drink. You know what I mean?
When you go in like that, you already lose. Go be yourself.
No, I'm not telling you not to be yourself, but you got to be willing to spend some cash, bro. It's fucking $22 a drink. You don't have a choice, is what I'm saying. Make
it rain.
So you better better be bringing some money.
That's why I'm gonna hit on some of these bets today. Bingo
for the first time. For the first time, is that what
listen. I just need you to put some respect on my name.
Listen,
maybe the betting needs work, but my
I got plenty of respect for you. I just asked you what I'm supposed to do
with the ladies is right. It's come on now, stop it. You know who the man is.
That's the thing. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. The unwavering confidence is just sometimes that's all women need. And to be honest with you, it is the antithesis to me. I sit there and I'm like, she doesn't really want to talk to me. I'm fucking good. When she might actually want to talk to me. I do the opposite thing to myself. So having you around is great because you bring all the confidence that I don't have. But that doesn't mean it always works. Dr. Eagle with an excellent comment here. I think you should stream from Vegas. It seems fitting for a betting pregame show.
I'm gonna bring my stuff. I'm gonna bring my stuff. Listen to this. I'm going to bring my stuff because I'm there from Saturday to Tuesday. Okay. I'm gonna bring my stuff though, and if Saturday night is fine, and I wake up a whole human Sunday, there's a great chance. It's a great chance because I have to do the Bills post-game show Monday night. I have to do that, and that's against the Broncos.
I mean, my man.
So
you think you're gonna wake up? Remember, hour earlier. So you think you're gonna wake up for an 8:00 NFL pregame show, alive, after a Saturday night?
Listen, I wake up early every day. And
you wake up early every day, not in Vegas.
I may wake up on a rooftop, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, by
If
the
you
way.
throw the mattress off, we'll know. By the way, I haven't said anything about my shirt.
No, that's a dope shirt. You know what I like about that? It's not like one of those I love Josh fucking Allen. It's just Josh fucking Allen.
I
Yeah.
love you, Josh Allen.
Boy, do they have a big game tonight.
We'll get there. That'll be on our docket to talk about. But yeah, dude, let's get to it. He's trying to deflect from him leaving you all and going to Vegas, so let's let him deflect. As always, if you've got any questions, fantasy, survivor, betting, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We love interacting with you guys. So if you've got anything that you want to talk about as it pertains to the NFL today, let us know and we will talk about it. We will run down every game and pick it against the spread. So if you have a game you want to talk about, don't worry. We haven't talked about it yet because we haven't talked about any games. But if you have specific questions, feel free to let us know. Before we get there, let me just say, like, subscribe, follow. Go find my guy Sterls on Instagram or X or Twitter. Go find me on any social medias. Give us follows. It's a huge help. And then for me, my channel, I need to get subscribers up. Twitch yelled at me. So if you feel so inclined, drop a subscribe in there and come hang out with us every Sunday. Talking about NFL football. We also do some watch-alongs during the week, which I still can't get Sterls to do. So, here we are.
Golly.
Here we are.
Merciless today. Oh, I love it.
I just, some people act like they want to, hang out with you and talk with you, and then here we are.
So, I know, right? It's crazy.
It's crazy how that works. All right, let's start with this Dolphins-Chiefs game. So I was going to ask you right now at halftime, do you like any of the lines? I have watched about 3 minutes worth of this game. So I normally only bet in-game if I've watched some of the game, but I am heavily inclined to take 16.5 points at halftime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've watched the first half so far. And if you catch me glancing over, it's because I'm watching the game. But, dude, the Dolphins look lost. They have no identity on offense right now. But the Chiefs defense is really good. Like, they may not, wow you with pressure on the quarterback and sacks, but they're sound coverage-wise. Their run fits, they're a good defense, man.
Well, and when Chris Jones cranks it up, he's scary. So they do have an elite pass rusher. It's just from a position that you don't normally call an elite pass rusher. I would say there's probably 2 of those in the league, and one is Aaron Donald. Credit to him where credit is due for that. One of the touchdowns that the Chiefs scored is on a pick 6. If you would have asked me pregame, I would have told you I kind of like the Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs get their ass kicked 2 weeks in a row. Like, they just don't let that happen. So I kind of like the Chiefs going into it. The other thing is, and we've mentioned this, Sterls, on the show before, like, I think I even had to yell at you once looking at it. Have you looked at who the Dolphins have beat?
We
know what I
looked
mean?
at that a few weeks ago.
Yeah. And it's still just as unimpressive. I'll pull it up.
Let's go over it. Who they got?
Pull it up right now.
Who they beat?
Los Angeles Chargers.
Trash.
New England Patriots.
Trash.
Denver Broncos.
Trash.
New York Giants.
Trash.
Carolina Panthers.
Garbage.
New England Patriots.
Garbage.
That's all their wins. Then, and it's not even just that they've only beat good teams or only beat bad teams, but when they play good teams, they get smoked. Their losses are Philadelphia 31-17, Buffalo 48-20, and now they're down 21-0 to the Chiefs. So I don't think that they're bad. I don't think that they're a bad team. I think they're a very good team, and I say that good.
Yeah.
Great. Elite. Good. They're a very good team. Very good. But that's all they are, I think.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think, when it happens 3 times, it's a trend. And when you can't beat top teams. With that offense, I, I think you have to go to the drawing board to some extent. Is it the coaching? Is it it can't be just execution. It has to be. There
I think
has to
it
be something in there.
I think it can be talent level though. And
But
the Dolphins have a decent talent level, but I think they have a talent level requisite of where they're playing. Their O-line is suspect. Tua is, I think, a good quarterback, but a good quarterback. Good.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean?
right,
Their defense has a chance to be great or elite. It really depends to how Jalen Ramsey comes back. But they have an opportunity there. You add another great corner to that. They've got good pass rushers. I
yeah.
don't like their linebackers, but all said, you could have a great or elite defense. And then, their weapons are elite, but their offensive line is suspect. So,
Yeah, no. That offensive line is really bad though. They are. I mean, in this game, it's not look. I mean, they look fine in this game, but it's can Tua. Once you take away that first read, can Tua get to the second, third read? Can Tua make plays off script? Like you have to. There has to be a level of playmaking, not just distributing the ball like a point guard. You have to make plays, and I think
okay.
that's where they lack. Tua making plays.
Well, that is the thing that everybody has always said about him, but I don't know that I believe that, to be honest with you.
He's in a system
Just
that
so everybody knows,
benefits him well.
I just jumped in because it popped up to 17.5, and I'll take the 3 scores. So I just dropped in a $5 bet on Miami Dolphins plus 17.5 plus 105. It was plus money. So
it's right now it's at 19 and a half.
yeah,
Just
that's
moved.
so I jumped on. So I went into the spread, Sterls, and picked
Mhm.
a lesser spread to get a higher number. So I took the 17.5 at plus 105 because that's 3 full scores, and that puts me down by 4 points right now. So just so everybody knows, I jumped on that in game. Miami will score. I find
eventually.
that hard to believe that they won't score. So, but that line just keeps going up. A lot of people are betting the Chiefs right now.
You know what the Chiefs are doing though in this game schematically? They are pressing these wide receivers and disrupting the timing. That's what they're doing.
Which is fine until they run past you.
They're taking a chance. See, and now they're up 21-0. You're one-dimensional now.
Well, and you can let somebody run past you and score a touchdown and still be okay. You know what I mean?
Sure, right.
So
they're punting, by the way.
Why are you such a hater, bro?
Who?
You.
I'm not. I'm just
the
telling
stadium
you.
is ugly as fuck,
update.
dude. Can I be honest with
guess
you?
What?
The stadium is ugly as fuck.
They got grass.
Oh, well, that is a great point. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's grass.
Have you seen it on somebody's jersey?
Yep.
There you go. Well, I mean, they got so many complaints about London. I think it was supposed to be a multi-turf surface, but maybe they just said no. We're going to play on grass.
Man, if they changed it, it makes me mad. Because you know, look at what it did.
But that's what I'm saying. I think maybe they had the ability to do the same thing here that they did in London, where you have 2 playing surfaces, and they chose to play on grass this time.
Yeah.
Which, if they did, I'm not angry about it. I'm glad they made the change. To be honest with you, I hope they don't make any players play on that again.
Yeah, I agree.
Who knows? All right, so a couple comments from Dingleberry here. Let's read them. What's going on in this game? All overseas games are madness. Yes, they are. And teams are going to have to figure it out. We've talked before. I don't think they put a team over there. I think they put a division over there because I think that's the only way that you could viably do it. But teams are going to have to figure out how to travel over there and play because it's coming. You never, we've talked about it before, but you never told me what you think about that idea that I have. Putting
about
division over there.
The logistics is a nightmare. I don't think all the owners Like in reality, I don't think all the owners would agree to it. I just think it's too problematic.
You
It
don't.
creates unfair advantages for
So
the overseas teams.
so let's talk about that though. So the the Jaguars. Gabs, what up? Thanks for jumping in. He says overseas games are so bad. Um, the Jaguars, I think, had an advantage being there a full week before they played the Bills, right?
Hmm.
So what if they went to a whole division over there? You do 6 divisions of 6. So when you cross over, you play 3 road games with the division that you cross over with. So if you cross over with the foreign division, you have 3 road games in Europe. They switch it to 18 games and 2 buys. 2 buys. And make it so that you can choose whether you take your bye before you go to Europe or after you come back. And then they send you over there for 3 games.
Back to
So
back to back.
back to back to back. So you only have to go over there once.
If it's like that, then yeah, that's reasonable and that works. What about the playoffs?
Playoffs is tough. The
Right? I
best
think
I
that's where the owners will kind of
the best
throw red
idea
flags.
the best idea I can come up with for the playoffs is I think everybody would love a bye week before the playoffs start. I don't think you would have a problem with that. So what you can do so you don't lose momentum is you can whatever conference this division is in, you if so let's say it's the AFC, right? The NFC plays the first wild card weekend.
Okay.
You could even make it 8 teams if you want and force the top seed to play. And that way you get 4 games on the NFC wild card weekend. Then the week after, the NFC gets a bye and the AFC teams play their wild card weekend. And that way you can have the first round playoff game at home for the European team. And then any rounds after that, you make them play in New York.
So to add on to that, I think you eliminate one preseason game and you push the season, have it start maybe a week or 2 sooner.
I disagree with that because
Why?
I want it to get to Martin Luther King Day.
So mid-February.
Yeah, and then you have off on the Monday after the Super Bowl.
I mean, you could do that.
You know what I
You
mean?
could do that. Yeah. I mean, that's a solid plan.
I think that's the only way that you can do it. And then so you do force a team to go overseas to play a playoff game if you don't want to be that team, win your division. You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it. You know what I mean? Real simple. But you do have to go overseas to play a playoff game, but you get a bye week before you travel over there to give you time to go over and acclimate. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's the only way it's viable. But then when you get into the latter rounds, that European team, you have to force them to play in New York or somewhere. You know what I mean? Because you can't do that. All right. So if you guys like, real quickly, if you were to bet in game right here, Sturls, would you take the points, or you still thinking that the Chiefs are going to shut them down?
I think the Chiefs are going to shut them down.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're moving the ball right now.
They are.
I look, the Dolphins, they're going to score eventually, but I don't think they're going to put up much of a fight here. I don't think they've shown the ability to play from a deficit like that.
Which is interesting with the kind of offense that they have. You know, like
Yeah.
I understand it's very run based for how high flying it is. But you'd think they would be able to throw at every play and be fine. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
Right.
an interesting predicament that they have. Okay. Gab says if the NFL was to expand to Spain and Brazil, there's a game. But the NFL wants to expand to Spain and Brazil. There's a game in Mexico City as well. If they were to build a division over in Europe, I think they'd put a team in Barcelona, a team in Paris, 2 teams in Germany, and 2 teams in London.
Dang, that's a lot of teams, man.
It's got to be 6. How else are you going to split it up? Like,
I'm not disagreeing.
what's your divisor? You know what I mean? It's got to be
Right.
6 of 6, and that gives you 36 teams, 4 expansion teams. And I think you move the Jaguars. Obviously, you move to London, but I think you also think about moving the Chargers to London. You force the Spanos to sell.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, right now they're playing all away games anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you put the Chargers in London, put one of them in Wembley, the other one in Tottenham, you know what I mean?
Tottenham.
Put
Tottenham.
Put one of them in Tottenham and one of them in Wembley, and let them be a crosstown rival, and I think that could be real fun. Battle of London at 9:30 Eastern time twice a year. You know what I mean? Like I feel like people would dig that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they might.
Because if they're in the same division, like they play twice a year, I think it's one of the big failings they have with the Jets and the Giants. Like they should have put them both in the same conference, in the same division, and let them play twice
A conference realignment would be nice.
There's a whole bunch of things they could do with a realignment. But.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this. Enough lollygagging around. Vikings Falcons. Wow, who the fuck is playing quarterback in this game? I believe it's Max Hall versus Taylor Heineke is what we got here.
Oh,
do you know for
man.
sure? They're not gonna play Josh Dobbs, right?
No, they're not. Yeah, this game is God, this game's bad. This is bad.
What's bad about it is trying to figure out what you want to do with it. I mean,
you stay away from it is what you do.
I mean, that's fair. Trying to think. Vikings probably have a better rushing attack, despite me loving Bijan Robinson. Vikings O-line's better than the Falcons O-line. Why can't I stop hiccuping?
Oh, man, yeah, this is bad.
Max Hall just doesn't do anything for me, though.
God. First start.
But I can't pick Taylor Heineke minus a field goal, can I? I can't do that.
I mean, I would take Atlanta with the 3.5 here.
They're not getting 3.5. They're laying 3.5.
They're laying 3.5.
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
I would take it. I take that just because they have more. It feels like more stability,
Brother,
right?
I am not.
Taylor Heineke has started games in the league.
Brother, I am not sure they're going to score 3 points in this entire game. So I will take
the Vikings defense is bad.
They're not bad. Why do you always say that?
They're bad.
Did
they got a pass rusher.
Did you see what they did to the Giants or to the Niners?
Dude, that was a fluke game. The Niners right now they're playing horrible, and we've seen that. So it was a division game. Not a division game because the Niners are in the NFC West, but it was just a fluke game.
Okay, everything's a fluke to you. You're right. Didn't he beat the Texans last week?
Who?
Who beat the Texans last week? Yeah, who are you talking about?
I don't know.
Who played the Texans last week? Did the Falcons play the Texans
The Panthers.
last week?
The Panthers.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Oh, Taylor Heineke? The Falcons played Tennessee last and lost.
Which was Will Levis had a great game.
I mean, sure.
For a first start rookie.
Okay.
4 touchdowns. That's a good game.
Okay. All right. Okay. We've seen a game
Talk about
from
hater. Talk about hater.
We've seen a game from Will Levis since then. Did you see what? Oh my God! So we both live here in Denver. Did you see what Broncos fans were tweeting out when Titans fans were all high on Will Levis?
No.
A Drew Lock stat line from when he played the Texans like 4 years ago and threw for 4 touchdowns and 300 yards and won the game. And everybody was like, oh my God, do we have it in Drew Lock? The answer is no. You don't.
Tough.
It was
Tough.
pretty cold from Broncos fans.
That's tough.
Not gonna lie to you.
Very tough.
All right, I'm taking Vikings +3. He's on the Falcons.
Yep.
Cardinals 1-7 starting. I can't even remember the guy's name. Yeah. Versus the Browns. I thought for sure they were going to activate Kyler for this game, but apparently not. So they're going to start whoever the other guy is.
Clayton Tune.
Thank you. And you know what? I'm riding with Clayton Tune.
Oh yeah, the spread here is what, 9.5?
No.
Or something like that. 13.
13. And you know my rule, Sterls. Tell him my rule.
Yeah. Listen, if it's that, no one expects a team. Okay, a team 13 points. That's a lot. Anytime you see a bet like that, you always take the underdog here. The margins in the NFL are very small.
Don't bet against the 10-point spread.
And also, what have the Cardinals shown us this year?
They're dogs.
In these predicaments.
I think they're going to be pissed, too, that they traded away their quarterback. That guy was a baller. He was a gamer. He came in late and still led that team, and I think really won some hearts in that locker room, and I think they're going to be pissed they traded him.
And why?
And I think they're going to want to stick it. I think they're going to want to stick it to the GM by going out and winning and ruining their draft pick.
Why do you trade that?
Because you can get assets and you don't care if you win or lose.
Man, I mean, he's a good backup. Like, even if you thought Kyler was the guy or they draft a guy, like Josh Dobbs is a good locker room guy.
Josh Dobbs is the new Josh Johnson.
He's going to play for everybody.
That's what I'm saying. And you know what his problem is? His biggest problem is? He's too fucking smart.
Dude, he's really smart.
He's like literally a rocket scientist, I think. He is incredibly smart. And the problem with that is you can trade him to a team like the Vikings in the middle of the season and say, pick up this playbook and figure it out right now. And he can do it. Yeah. He's too smart for his own good. You know what I mean? Like
he will always be in the league.
It makes him expendable. Yeah. It makes him expendable because he's worth something. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you're right. He would be a great backup quarterback. But every time he's a backup somewhere, someone who has a starter go down is going to call, you know? So
I wish the Bills would get him next
as a backup
offseason.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate that idea at all. Especially because I think one of Josh's biggest weaknesses is studying the other team.
Yeah.
I mean, he's said it himself. So, personally, I think if you had a guy like that in there that's so cerebral that if he's picking up on stuff and being like, hey, did you see this? What do you think about that? You know what I mean? I think that's actually probably really good for one. Gab says there's a guy in Brazil that has a fan account dedicated to Drew Lock. Let me tell you about the meltdown that happened in Denver when Geno Smith went out and Drew Lock had to go in and led a touchdown drive, including a touchdown pass to Noah Fant. Let's talk about the meltdown that happened amongst Bronco fans.
Man.
And to be fair, especially Tori, who I'll reference specifically, but like a whole bunch of the Drew Lock lovers here, their main argument was like, listen, we could have all these draft picks still and have the same level of quarterback play. And so they were out on the Russell Wilson thing from the beginning. I talked to her about Aaron Rodgers. When Aaron Rodgers was a rumor, she was like, I don't want to do it. She said the same thing about Russell Wilson. And her logic was, I'm going to get Drew Lock level quarterback play and lose all my draft picks. And she was right. That was exactly what happened. All right.
Tough.
Isn't that tough? I mean, you remember when we lived there with Thaddeus Lewis and Jeff Toole.
Jeff
Toole time. Yeah, you remember when we lived there? Lived there for a long time. Lived there for a very long time.
You know what? Thank God we were young then.
Yeah, that's right. That's 100% right. And when we were young then, we're like, this is bullshit. But much better that we were young then, because our livers
Yeah.
took a beating during that time.
Mm, mm, mm.
All right, Rams Packers. Is Matthew Stafford playing?
Rams.
I
I
need to know
haven't
if
seen
Matthew
anything this
Stafford's
morning.
because I
Let's
think
see.
this is Matthew Stafford is the only thing that makes this for me. Questionable for Sunday due to his thumb injury. Is
Yeah.
unlikely to play.
Stick a fork in him.
Well, that was 15 hours ago, and it just says that he's unlikely.
I'd say he's not going to play then.
I don't know, dude. They're right on the edge of, are we in this?
Yeah, and that's why he shouldn't play. Like, get him
this
healthy.
is-
If it takes a week, get him healthy.
But get him healthy in a week where it doesn't matter. You know what I
I mean, Matthew Stafford has shown like that dude just fights through injuries. You know?
Yeah. They are 10th in the NFC right now, and they are a game out of a playoff spot. Minnesota's in the 7th spot at 4-4, and they're 3-5.
Tua just threw a touchdown pass.
You know, some of us Sturls are watching on an online feed that we don't necessarily pay for. So we're a little behind. And
Well,
we don't
I'm
necessarily appreciate.
you know, I pay for it. So I'm telling you in real time what's going on. You want to know that.
I don't
30-yard pass.
And you are like 2 whole plays ahead of me too. Okay. God. All right. So no Matt Stafford makes me want to take Jordan Love, but laying 3.5 points is tough. If I'm the Rams, though, I am thinking to myself, do I play him this game and sit him a game that's less winnable? So let's see what their schedule looks like. Yeah, versus Seattle next week. Right. So do I play him this week versus Green Bay if he can go? And then sit him for a week versus Seattle, and then Arizona's after that.
Only if you think you can make a run at this thing.
I mean, you kind of can. Yeah, the seventh seed in the NFC playoffs is going to be at 500 at best. You know what I mean? At best, they're going to be 9-8. So you can get there. You got a couple games versus Arizona left? No, 1 game versus Arizona, game versus Cleveland, game versus the Giants, game versus New Orleans.
Yeah.
You can find some wins, but you got to win the games you're supposed to win, which is a Green Bay game like this. All right, who do you like? By the way, are you putting in bets or are you just being a little fucking troll?
Being a troll, huh? Yeah, I'm putting in bets.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
You're building your giant parlay that doesn't fucking count.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
Let me be me, okay?
Listen. I wish I had an option. Wish I had an option to not let you be you, and here we are. Rams, Packers, who you got?
Giant parlay.
Who you got?
I'm gonna take give me the Packers here. With the understanding that Stafford won't play.
That is the perfect reason for me to pick the Rams plus 3.5 points. So thank you for that.
Sure. And Lambeau with the heart and soul in Buffalo, you know?
Just saying, man. Just saying. Did that go in? Did we do that? What happened? Okay. Next game. Let's see what we got. Commanders, Patriots.
Man, this is a game I don't want to bet.
Patriots are plus 2.5 points. Patriots. The New England Patriots are favored. Do I need to say that again? The New England Patriots are favored.
Everything in me says pick the Commanders.
Okay. Why
plus 3.
Why aren't you? Why? It's plus 2.5.
Well, on DraftKings, it's 3.
Nobody
right.
cares.
And the reason why is because F the Patriots all day long. And Sam Howell's a better quarterback, right? In a better offense.
I really struggle with that.
But he is.
I really struggle with that. He's got a better offensive coordinator. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he does. He has a better all around ecosystem for doing his job than Mac Jones right now.
I just think the Patriots defense is so beat up that one thing there's two things I always thought were true about the Commanders. Great defensive line. They've traded most of those guys away. Great weapons. I really do like their weapons. So against the bad offensive or bad defense, and only I should preface by saying they're only bad because of a bunch of injuries. Yeah, I'm going to take Sam Howell and let him cook. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Is that the dog shit game of the day? Or is it this one?
No, there's
Saints
the
and
Panthers
Bears. Saints and Bears.
Oh, dude, this whole slate, like 75% of the slate today is trash.
It's because 75% of the teams in the NFL are at best mediocre. And so when
Yeah.
you have two of the good teams playing each other, like you do in two different games, Bengals, Bills, Dolphins, Chiefs, all of a sudden the rest of the slate turns out to be
Cowboys, Eagles.
really bad. There you go. And all of a sudden the rest of the slate turns out to be total dog shit because your good teams are all playing each other. Okay, Bears, Saints.
Saints.
By the way, before you go, a reminder to the people in here, if you've got fantasy questions, if you've got survivor questions, betting questions, feel free to bring them. We will answer any questions that you have. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Okay, go ahead.
So the Bears are plus 9.5 in this game. I think that's a major spread. And the Saints have shown us nothing. They have let us down in terms of betting this season. The Saints have let us down.
The Saints are who I thought they were.
Yeah. But, you figure veteran quarterback, they do have some weapons. You think they'd be better. I expected them to be better this year.
Nah.
Weak NFC South.
Nah.
Can you make some noise? Can you capitalize on a weak NFC South? And no, they just simply cannot.
The only thing that they have that's worth anything is a good defense and a decent wide receiver in Chris Olave. And I like Michael Thomas too, but I mean, just in terms of what they have, that's like, I've never believed in Derek Carr, and I don't have any problems with him, but he just does not inspire anything. And when you see him losing his freaking mind on the field because he threw a ball 10 yards out of bounds, like, I don't know. It's like, get it together, bro. Get it together.
Yeah.
They've got a good defense, but I just 9.5. Oh God. I wish I had the excuse of 10 points so I could just take the Bears and be done with it. Because I believe that Bears team has more talent than the Saints team.
I'm going with the Bears in this one. I'm going to take the plus 9.5.
Talk me into it.
Look, man, Tyson Bagent. This is what, third start now? I mean, he's not he's not anything special by any means, but he can run an NFL offense. I mean, the question is, what can they do in the ground game to supplement Tyson Bagent?
That was the most painful praise I've heard in my entire life.
I know,
he can run an NFL
take
offense.
Snaps under center. He can speak in the huddle.
Oh my God.
He has nice tattoos.
Such painful praise, bro. Oh my goodness.
I mean, when you're a degenerate and you're digging at the bottom of the depth of the barrel, that's what you say. It's almost like Chris Collinsworth. If you've never watched a game in your life and you listen to Chris Collinsworth tell you how great Tyson Bagent is, you would think this motherfucker right here is a top 5 quarterback.
I don't get why everybody hates Chris Collinsworth so much.
It's not.
Bro
It's
is
not, he's
excited.
okay.
It's his job to be excited. It's fine.
Why you gotta be like that?
It's fine.
He
'Cause he
creams
never
all
bothered
over everybody.
He never
He
bothered
does.
me.
Well, you got problems.
Yo, listen, his job is to be excited. Like
Dude,
he
you can
is
be
supposed
excited
to be
and
enjoying what he's
honest.
doing.
You don't have to be like, oh
No,
my
he
God, Tyson
is.
Bagent. Look
He's
how
not.
he stop it. Just stop being a hater. Stop. Just be real.
I'm
Okay.
being
Don't be
real.
this. Oh God.
I'm being real.
Mahomes just fumbled.
I hate you so much. I'm still watching them be pissed that he got hit out of bounds.
Dolphins recover. And we
Dynasty
got
League.
Dr. Eagle has a question.
Yeah. Dynasty League Super Flex PPR. I'm in a full sell mode for picks and or younger players. I'm trading Austin Eckler. Other team trading a 2024 round 1 late pick. Am I selling too low? No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
because
so.
I think this is Austin Eckler's last season of being really productive.
It's exactly what I was going to say. And I don't even know if he'll be that productive this season. He seems to be struggling. This is the Patriots model, Dr. Eagle, and I think it's absolutely right. Sell low or sell high before it's time to sell. You know what I mean? And I think
Yep.
this is the time to sell on Austin Eckler. So I think that's a great deal. A late 2024 first round. It's going to be tough to find a running back there in Dynasty. A long-term running back, I guess I should say, a long-term solution, because those normally go at the top of that first round. But you at least want to put yourself in a position to try to take a rookie wide receiver that you think can be on your team for a long time. I think that's a good trade, and I would maybe look at, do they have any kind of like depth running back that you can get back that is something for the future, anything for the future, you know. I'm trying to think of like a guy who's a good example here, like a Zach Moss, right? Like just somebody who can give you solid carries, maybe in years from now. That I don't know that Austin Eckler is going to be much better than.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what the depth is in their running back position on their team, but I'd see if I could maybe sneak that in there as well as the late round 1 pick.
And also from a draft perspective, you're going to have some pretty good running backs that are going to be coming out this year. You know, I can think of 5 guys that are solid, good running backs, right? So even if if you wanted to save that first round pick and swing at a running back, I think you'll get somebody. You can get somebody who's going to be productive as a rookie coming in next year.
Yeah. Have you ever done a dynasty? I've never actually done a dynasty. I was kind of like a co-GM, and not in the sense that I had the login information, but my boy played in a very serious dynasty league, and anytime he was thinking about doing something, he would do this. You know what I mean? Where he's like, hey, come in here and let's talk about this trade. But have you ever done like a real dynasty league?
I have not.
See, I don't have enough friends for it, but you would be one of the people that I would call. It's the only way
I would do it.
It's the only way I'm getting back into fantasy. Is like,
well, let's start one next year.
Dynasty. Oh, bro. Who are we gonna get to do it? Who is gonna be?
Oh, we can find people.
No. Who do you trust to be devoted enough to do a dynasty league? Devoted enough, right? Because this isn't like a regular draft fantasy league. You know what I mean? Like, this is, you're making a multi-year commitment to this. You know, like maybe some of your BR guys, but like David wouldn't do it. Too much work for him. You know what I mean? Pat wouldn't do it. Too much work for him. Right. Dr. Eagle's in. Dr. Eagle.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, if you're running one dynasty franchise, why not run two, right?
Yeah.
All right, one of the best games of the morning: Seahawks and Ravens. Seahawks plus 6.5.
Oh man. You know what? Isn't it time for the Ravens to lose the game?
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels like it's like they need to be brought back to earth just a tad. It's the NFL. This is what happens. You don't,
And they're cutting it close versus teams like the freaking Cardinals.
right, right. So I think this is that week. Give me the Seahawks plus 6.5 here.
The question is, in that new offense, are they starting to figure it out?
They are.
Last 3 games: 24 versus the Titans, 38 versus the Lions, 31 versus the Cardinals. So are they starting to figure it out?
I think so.
I think that's a super interesting question. Because this is one of those teams.
Lamar looks more comfortable.
This is one of those teams that's super dangerous in the AFC, and also could just fold like a tent. And like everybody that wants to talk shit about the Bills is welcome to, but at the end of the day, they year after year have proven that they put it together in the second half of the season and made a run towards the top of the AFC. Now, I'm not saying they're playoff, contenders, anything like that, right? Like they have still more to prove. But when it comes to being at the top of the AFC, they've been there every year for the past 4 years. The Ravens seem to do the exact opposite. Like they are in a good position and then disappear, fold their tents. So I think that's why you're saying this. Feels like this is a game where the Ravens fold tents a little bit. 6.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah, that is. And Seattle's a good team. Like they're able to control games on the ground. We had a Jackson Smith and Jigba sighting last week as well.
Hey, how about that?
Right, we've been waiting for that.
I hated him getting drafted there so much because I just knew
I
they
know.
wouldn't use it. Could you imagine him in like Miami or Buffalo?
No, in Buffalo, man, dude.
Kansas City, any
Yep.
of those places, and he had to go.
We'd be talking about him for Rookie of the Year,
right? And he had to go to that freaking vortex, black hole that is Seattle.
where there's 2 other legitimate options outside of him
that they don't use.
Yep.
2 other legitimate options that they don't freaking use.
Ask DK Metcalf how he feels.
I know. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable.
Yep.
Okay, so you're taking the points you said? You're taking 6.5?
Yep, 6.5 with the Seahawks.
Oh, God. I'm so torn about this one. I normally have a gut feeling at least one way or the other, but I am so torn about this one.
I know, because it can go either way. When we were picking the Ravens, Lions, I at least thought, okay, well, the Ravens, I mean, the Lions are pretty good on both sides of the ball in terms of the trench work, right? They're good. Like, you'd think that they would put up a better fight. And the Ravens blew them out 38 to, nothing or something like that?
Yeah.
Blew them out. And so 38-6. So you come into this game, and the Ravens they just played well. Last 3 weeks they played well. They got to come back to earth.
All right.
Is it with a good team?
You talk me into it. I'll take the Seahawks and the points. It's going to be a physical game, dude. I mean,
yeah, man.
2 teams that want to just hit you right in the mouth. So that should be fun to watch.
Raheem Mostert just scored a touchdown. FYI.
Why?
21-14.
Why?
I mean, I'm just saying.
It's such a hater, bro.
I got to tell you. I wouldn't be a good friend if I didn't tell you. You need to be in the know.
God forbid.
Your hard-earned dollars are at work here.
My hard-earned dollars are real comfortable right now. My hard-earned dollars are real comfortable right now. In fact, let's look at this before we get to Bucks Texans. Thank God.
Thank God.
Let's see. Money line, Chiefs, minus 400. So if I was to try to build a middle for this, it would be building a middle with the Chiefs minus points. which is crazy. But I've got Dolphins plus 17.5 right now, and if I want to try to middle it, I got to do it with Chiefs minus points. So right now this is a 10-point middle if I take it at minus 6.5. That's a big middle. It's a good middle there.
Yeah.
But I think I want to wait. I think I want to let the Dolphins tie this game first, which they're going to do.
Do we think they're going to do it?
Just our luck that, of course, they're going to tie this game and then come back and win. It's a very Bills thing.
Do we think they're going to do it?
Yeah, I think they're going to tie it up. Wow. 100%. I think they're going to tie it up, and I think Mahomes is going to drive the Chiefs down and win it late. There's my game script that I would bet on.
Well,
Dolphins get another stop, score another touchdown,
Sure,
21-21. They exchange a couple drives where neither of them do anything. Mahomes gets the ball, drives them down, and wins.
Let me ask you a question. Who would you rather win this game from a Bills perspective? No. Come on. Don't. You answer my question.
It's really interesting because the Bills have games versus both of these teams left. And they already have a win over the Dolphins, which means that both of those games will be tiebreaker games. Mm-hmm. Right? Like if you beat the Dolphins, you're 2-0 over the Dolphins, so you have the tiebreaker there. If you beat the Chiefs, you only play them once, so you beat them, you have the tiebreaker there. So the Bills have games against both of these teams that are tiebreakers that are left. I'm worried about winning the division, man. I believe, again, the Dolphins, good. Not great, not elite, good.
Sure.
And so you've got to make sure you handle that. You know what I mean? Like you got to this is the Patriots winning 10 games a couple of years ago. And I said before the playoff game, like you got to make sure you handle this. If this is your division, if you are the daddy here, you got to make sure you handle this. I'm dead fucking serious, man.
Yeah. You're right.
If you're the boss, you don't let things like this go unchecked. So you got to fucking handle the situation. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about this Dolphin team. This Dolphin team is good enough to be a threat, and you got to make sure you handle it. And they did the first time round, and hopefully they will the second time round. So I'm concerned about winning the division first and foremost because you can win 13 games, and if they win 14, you don't have a home playoff game.
Right.
And it's one of my least favorite things about the NFL. As we talk about, overseas divisions and stuff like that, can we talk about how I think winning your division should only grant you a playoff berth, not a home playoff game? No. That's
where I have a problem with the Dolphins.
If there are 4 teams with better records than you in your same conference, you do not deserve a home playoff game.
I agree.
Tampa Bay should have been on the road last year.
Yep.
Should have been on the road last year. So winning your division, I'm fine if like there's a 8th or 9th team that has a better record than you that doesn't get into the playoffs because you get an automatic bid because you won your division. That I'm fine with. Winning your division should only get you into the playoffs. It should not guarantee you a home game.
Right.
But that's how I think. All right. Since you don't like my conversation, let's move on. Bucks and Texans. Bucks getting 2.5. CJ Stroud struggling a bit the past couple of weeks after an excellent start to the season. Bucks never quite living up to expectations, at least my expectations. I expected them to be better than this.
You got to go with the Bucks here, don't you?
Getting 2.5 on the road. On the road. Here's the thing. You've got 2 quarterbacks who you just could pop off for 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. Or could put up 115 yards and 2 picks. You know what I mean? Like it's just you just don't know what you get. And CJ Stroud, that's because he's young. Baker Mayfield, it's kind of just been what he is. You know what I mean?
Right.
He also, I think, is injured again and trying to play through it. And he's got to stop doing that. He's going to ruin his career that way.
What's left of it?
I mean, he's a starter in the NFL. There's plenty of money to be made, bro. Like what's left of his career is still quite a bit. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
there's not Josh Allen money to be made, but there's plenty of fucking money to be made for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he turns out to be a serviceable NFL starter, if he goes Ryan Fitzpatrick and turns into the guy that every team who is drafting a young quarterback hires to take hits for half a season until they put in their young guy. You know what I mean? Like there's still plenty of career left there.
Yep. Give me Baker in the points.
Baker and the points. God, I want to stick with CJ Stroud so bad because everybody's jumping ship on him.
Right now. I love CJ Stroud.
Everybody's jumping ship on him.
He's a rookie though, man. Like it takes time. It takes time, man. He's had some good moments, good flashes. Those will continue to happen, but for this game specifically, I just feel like the Bucs are more of a veteran team. They got better receiving options, whether you like it or not. Better offensive line. Vita Vea's back. I mean,
Vita Vea is back.
Antoine Winfield Jr. is pretty good.
Does Vita Vea swing me? Because it kind of did when you said that. I literally have it loaded to bet Houston right now, and you said Vita Vea, and it made me stop. It made me pause before I hit that.
Well, and the only reason why I mention that is because he's such a good run defender.
Yeah.
That with a rookie quarterback, you have to have a running game to supplement, to take some of those looks away. So, and if you have a guy that's just going to eat up your running backs, which you really don't have good running backs as it is, Devin Singletary, Dameon Pierce hasn't done anything since last year.
Yeah, but I like Dameon Pierce.
I do too, but it's just the offensive line's not good. You can confuse. Todd Bowles is aggressive defensive coordinator, so he's going to send a lot of blitzes to CJ Stroud's way that I don't think he's ready. He's not ready for that test yet.
Do you know what's really crazy is the winner of this is very much in the playoff race. And I think if you would have said that at the start of the year, like if you would have picked this, what is this, week 9 game, and said the Bucs and the Texans are going to play and the winner's going to be squarely in the playoff race, I would have been like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And here we are. So I think that's kind of nuts. It needs to be said. All right, I'm going to take Houston. Why are you being like this? Not you. App. I just think I like to give rookie head coaches more leeway in the second half of the season because lots of times they're still trying to figure out how they want to run their team and get into a rhythm. And that's hard the first 4 weeks, the first 8 weeks. But then when you get into the second half of the season, I think it's the opposite of the rookie wall for the rookie head coaches. I think it's you get into a rhythm, you get into a flow, you know what to expect every week, you know what you want your meetings to look like, what you want your practices to look like, what you want your timeline to look like. And I think all of that helps. So I fucking hate what's his name? Who's the head coach of the Bucs? I think he's awful.
Todd Bowles.
Thank you. I think he's awful. As
a head coach, for sure.
The chasm between the downgrade between Bruce Arians to him is immeasurable.
Substantial.
Immeasurable. If Bruce Arians is running this Bucs team, I bet you they pull out those 2 super close late games and they're 5-3 right now.
Likely. So, I agree with that.
So give me the coach that I believe in tentatively as a young guy, young coach, DeMeco Ryans. Give me the quarterback that I believe in tentatively as a young guy.
And that's why you'll lose the bet.
Yep, probably. That's my luck. All right, we're to the afternoon games, which means you know what that means. We got to take a break. Commercial time. If you're a subscriber, you get to hang out for the commercial question. If you're not, we'll probably tell you after anyways. Okay, Sterls. Let's talk about it.
What are we talking
Do you have
about?
one? I have one.
Go ahead.
All right, so everybody always says, you see these memes that's like, it's like a beautiful cabin in the woods on a lake, and they're like, could you live here without any electronics or blah, 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 and we're all like, fuck, yes, I could. What do you mean? Could I live here for $1 million for a month without any electronics? 100% I could. You don't agree. Your face says you don't agree.
Without electronics.
For $1 million, you couldn't do it for a month? You tough it out, bro.
Oh, I could.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I could.
That's what I'm saying. For me, it would feel like a vacation, but I'm just saying, like, put it in the middle of the summer when there's no sports on anyway, and I know that. Like, would feel
Okay,
like
let me twist it a little bit.
Hold on, no, because that's not my question. That's just the start of it, right? That's the memes that you see all the time.
Because I have a question.
So I want to put you in that scenario, right? You're in a cabin in the woods. No electronics. You have your survivals, so food. You've got light. I said, you know what I mean, all that kind of stuff. But no electronics, right? And you're with one other person. You can pick. Doesn't matter who. You're with one other person. What do you bring? Deck of cards, art supplies, musical instrument, board game. Those were the options that I gave. Now, Listen, I only have so much room on this little board that I write these on. But if you have other things that you want to bring, I will approve or disapprove of them. But tell me what it is that you would bring with you to enjoy your time, to pass the time, if you were up in a cabin like that. One person.
I'm bringing my son. He's going to be the one that's going to be there with me. And I'm bringing a fishing pole.
You're just going to fish all day.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you don't need to fish for food, right?
Right.
I made that clear. So you're just fishing for fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What are you trying to catch? What's your...
Bass, trout, all of it.
So it's a lake, not a river, so you wouldn't have any, like, salmon or anything, right?
Nah. Yeah, bass. That's what I do.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Now, how did you want to twist it?
So I saw something on Twitter the other day, and someone posed a question. They said, would you rather have $1 trillion or talk to Jesus for 10 minutes face to face?
I saw this.
And I would take Jesus every time.
Okay. You tell me if you're a man of God or not.
I am.
I thought so.
You knew that.
Well, I mean, I don't like to put that in people.
Yeah.
You to say that. So you believe, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't necessarily believe.
I know.
Trillions of dollars is a lot of money. But that being said, you get to be the one person that talks to Jesus and prove that that he's real. You know how much money I would make going around talking to a whole bunch of shows?
That's a good way to look at it.
I'm the guy who talked to Jesus. Let's do it. Let's do an interview. I'll tell you exactly what he said. I got a picture with the guy. He was great.
That's a great way to put it. Oh,
I'll make trillions of dollars being the guy who actually spoke to Jesus. And I am skeptical, but if I have my own proof that he is real, then I'd be a believer for sure. It'd be very easy for me to believe then. So, yeah, I'll make millions of dollars being the guy who talked to Jesus.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So that's what I'm picking.
I guarantee. I saw that meme and I'm like, I guarantee nobody's thinking about it this way. But like, do you know how many fucking interviews I could get? So if you're back from the commercial question, we had a couple meme questions that we threw out there, and Sterl said he saw a meme that said, "Would you rather have 10 minutes with Jesus or $1 trillion?" And I told him, I'll take 10 minutes with Jesus even though I'm a non-believer, because do you know how much fucking money I'm going to make doing interviews saying, yeah, I'm the guy who talked to Jesus. Let's figure this out. You know what I mean? What can I do for you? What can I do for you, TMZ? How much is it worth to you?
Paparazzi. The savior of the universe.
Okay. Colts Panthers. This is Sterl's nominee for dog shit game of the day. Gardner Minshew versus Bryce Young. See, any of these games that involve like these top draft picks, I feel even though the games are not going to be great, I have more juice for them than I do Max Hall versus Taylor.
Well,
Heineke.
Anthony Richards is not playing.
I know, but Bryce Young is.
Yeah.
And so give me any of those young quarterbacks, and I'm up for it. I'm open to it.
I'm going to take the Colts -2 here, just because they have the veteran quarterback. The Panthers won last week, and they're a really bad team, so they're not going to put up a fight. Like, they got their Super Bowl win last week against the Texans.
See, and I feel the exact opposite. That's so interesting that you said that. I feel like the fact that they won last week is why they're going to be hyped. You get back-to-back weeks at home, which is nice for any team. You know what I mean? Not just a bad team. But back-to-back weeks at home, you get a win at home. Start believing a little bit. Can you do it again? Well, guess what? You've got a bad team coming in to play against.
Right.
I just give me the home dog. Give me the 2.5 points. Bryce Young throws for 500 yards. I'm kidding.
I was like, yo.
His face, dude. Your face snapped harder than when I said the Broncos were going to win last week, which, by the way.
That boy be lucky to pass for 50 yards.
Your face snapped more than it did when I said Broncos last week, which, by the way.
You were right.
I hated cutting that video because I was like, I don't want to make my guy Sterls look bad. But I think you were the voice of many people saying, we know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I felt bad cutting you into.
I don't care. I don't care. I mean, if you use some cut-ups when I'm speaking facts, okay?
Hey,
I didn't mind that because you were right. That was a great freaking pick analysis of that game. Great. You get all the kudos for that. That was fantastic.
I had to take my flowers on that one.
Yeah, and you should have.
But, bro, if I'm the one that cuts the video, then
then I got to make myself look good. So I get it. I mean,
I'm happy to cut one for you, Sterls. If you have one that you feel like was a great call, then, let me know and I'll cut one for you. But if I'm doing all the work, I mean, do you know how long it takes to cut those, by the way?
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Get those down to 60 seconds so I could put them on social media. Holy tits, it's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Giants Raiders. Another strong nominee for dog shit game. Can we talk about them trading Leonard Williams real quick?
Yeah, for a second and a fifth, right? Is what they traded him for?
I believe so.
That move.
That's shocking, isn't it? He already got a big contract.
Yeah.
I just feel like long term that is such a detriment to your team. So unless there was something going on in the locker room, which Schoen and Dable come from that Bean McDermott school where Marcel Darius gets traded for peanuts because they just want him out of the locker room. So if that was the case, then that's one thing. But trading Leonard Williams is crazy to me.
He's a good defensive tackle, man. He's good.
That's it. That's all you got to say about it.
I mean, I get look. I get it. You already screwed yourself by paying that quarterback.
So trade him. Don't trade the guy who's actually good.
You're banking on often injured Saquon Barkley, who got you to the playoffs last year. I mean, you have to. Yeah, I'm okay with it because you have to get picks now. They that's them
But
saying, hey, we know now we got to fix it. We got
my
to tank
only
it.
my only thought process is them saying we've got 2 wins and we might be able to draft a quarterback and insert him into this already decent team and fix our we paid Daniel Jones too much problem.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me about that move. So, Raiders
Yep.
fire their coach, bench their quarterback for the rest of the season because they don't want to pay him next year. I read a thing that said they're paying $85 million to get rid of the people on the staff, and that doesn't
Good.
include the money that they're paying Mike Mayock and
Gruden.
Gruden from the last time round.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. And good
Jesus,
for
man.
hey, look, when are they gonna take their medicine? We talk about this with the Broncos all the time. If you're gonna build a franchise, it starts with the quarterback, and you cannot be bringing in these has-been quarterbacks or average Derek Carr. You have to do it the right way.
You
So
you
yeah,
you can bring in those guys, but you better have a young guy behind them. You know, and
yep,
they haven't had any long-term solutions there.
yep,
For listen, I remind people of this all the time. The Bills made the playoffs the year they took Josh Allen.
yeah,
And it was just utter determination from Bean to get to the top of that draft and pick one of the top quarterbacks. And so they traded their left tackle and they traded their quarterback and all this kinds of stuff to keep moving up and moving up and moving up and put themselves in a situation with
yep,
their assets that they could get high enough to take one of those quarterbacks. I'm not saying that if you're one of these teams that you have to tank and end up at the top of the draft, because when you bring a quarterback into a team that's that devoid of talent, it makes it really hard on them. But you better be committed to getting to the top of the draft to take one of those quarterbacks.
yeah, big time. And there's 5 to 6 quarterbacks that I think are going to go in the first round.
And
So you got
but
Drake
like,
May,
how do
Caleb
you let
Williams.
the GM stay through the NFL trade deadline when you could have maybe seen if you could get something for Jimmy Garoppolo? Hi Minnesota.
He's
Hi Minnesota.
I don't think Minnesota wants that. They just came out yesterday and said they're contemplating re-signing not Derek Carr, but Kirk Cousins to
Fine,
another contract.
but I mean, so you take Jimmy G for the rest of the season, then trade him again.
I wouldn't do that.
They're
Jimmy
four
G
and
is a
four, and they're 4-4, and the NFC is terrible. You could
I'm
make
not
the
taking.
playoffs with Jimmy G if he's healthy.
Have you seen Jimmy G? He's trash.
I know he is, but I'm just saying, how do you let the GM sit there through the trade deadline and not try to get a 7th-round pick for Jimmy G? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm.
Okay, so who you like? Giants plus 1.5 in Vegas.
I'll take the Giants here with the 1.5 points.
Tell me why. Give me a
I think
reason. You don't
Daniel
have
Jones
one.
is playing. Daniel Jones is playing, and
That's not a reason.
Aiden O'Connell. Well, he's better than Aiden O'Connell. Antonio Pierce, who was a former New York Giant, is going to be the interim head coach.
Give me
I
the
think they'll.
interim. Give me the interim head coach bump. Happened with Jeff
Okay,
Saturday. He won a game.
sure, yeah,
That locker room is feeling happier. Devontae Adams probably happier. You probably, if you're Antonio Pierce, go to whoever is calling plays for you and say, have Aiden O'Connell throw it at 17 every other
single
fucking
play.
No, I'm
Every
serious
time.
when I say every other play.
No,
Like,
yeah,
if he does not get targeted on half of our snaps, there's going to be a problem.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
What a tire fire the Raiders are, man.
They have talent too. Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs.
And they don't use them.
Not at all. Not at all.
Josh
So
McDaniels, man, that should be the last time that dude gets a NFL head coaching job. It's a wrap now.
it is absolutely amazing that he keeps getting jobs in the NFL.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm taking Raiders minus a point. Maybe the funnest game of the day to talk about, and that is knowing full well who the Sunday night football game is. Cowboys and Eagles. Cowboys
be
have been
good.
humbled a couple times. Eagles clearly at the top of the NFC right now. Who you got, my man?
I got the Cowboys winning this game. Just like we talked about with the Ravens, it's time for the Eagles to kind of take that bump. You're going to lose this game. It's a division game. The Eagles have had their number. You know, I feel like the Cowboys have a really good underrated defense. Like I feel like their corners are good. Even Deron Bland. Deron Bland's playing well. And I came out here and said that the dude had a pick 6 last week. We know they got guys on the defensive line. The problem is Tony Pollard. Like what can he bring to the table today? That's the X factor today. If Tony Pollard can have a good game, I think the Cowboys will win this game.
I love you.
I know you're going with the Eagles.
I'm not only going with the Eagles. You weren't. It was the game that you couldn't be on the pregame show.
Mm-hmm.
But this feels so much like the Niners-Cowboys pick to me. I like the Eagles, and I like the Eagles by a whole lot.
Oof.
And I want to say, like I did that time, that it's not because the Cowboys are a bad team. It's because this is a really bad matchup. The Eagles, like the Niners, are good at everything the Cowboys are bad at. If you want to take a great pass rusher out of the game, what do you do to him, Sturls?
You run at him, you send guys at him the entire time.
Right at him. You run the ball right at him. And guess what the Niners did to Micah Parsons? It ran the ball right at him.
Yep.
And the Eagles can do the same thing. I think they've got an immense amount of talent at the wide receiver position. And even though these corners for the Cowboys have been holding up, not against this talent, they haven't. Not against this talent.
That's fair.
The Eagles' defense, I think, is really solid. I don't think that the Cowboys' offense does anything particularly well. I think we all think they're a good rushing team from history, from years past, and I don't think they're a great rushing team anymore. I think they're a good rushing team.
And that's why I brought up Tony Pollard, because he hasn't really done much this year.
Yeah. And the O-line, did we lose a step? Did we, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just not quite as good as it has been in years past.
Right.
They've got good weapons at wide receiver, but Dak is Dak, dude. Same thing as the Dolphins.
Yep.
Right? You're right. You're just very good. Not great, not elite. Just Dak is just very good. And so he's not going to make anybody great. He needs CeeDee Lamb to make him great. You know what I mean? And so I just think it's in Philadelphia. You saw what that place was like during the World Series. Like, that is not an easy place to play ever. Especially when your team is 7-1, and if they beat this, let's look at the standings real quick, because with the Niners losing 3 games, I think if they beat the Cowboys, they will be 2 full games ahead of everybody in the NFC.
Wow, that's huge.
I'm trying to think, who else would there be? Cowboys have 2 losses. Lions have 2 losses. Okay, so and the sneaky, guess who else? The sneaky Seattle Seahawks also only have 2 losses. That's crazy. This is a opportunity for them to extend their lead in the NFC and say, again, this year it comes through Philly. And so I'm taking Philly. I'll lay the points. I think they're going to win big.
Okay, that's fair. I'll take the Cowboys here.
What do you mean you'll take the Cowboys? I didn't talk you into it?
I just think, man, it's the NFL.
Because
They've won some really close games, man. And I feel like, man, it's like what the NFL has taught us this year is like you cannot go on what you think you know, because this year has just been a travesty for the opposite.
You let me talk you into the Broncos last week. You're not going to let me talk you into the Eagles here?
I can't. Come on. I just feel like the Eagles have to lose a game. They got to lose another game.
They did lose a game already.
They need another game.
They lost a stupid game to the Jets, of course.
Yeah,
Come on. That was stupid.
it was.
And of course it had to be the Jets. You are embossed in this game right now,
I am.
which is good.
Yeah, I think I really have a good feeling about it. I could be completely and utterly wrong. But
Bills,
oh
Bengals,
God.
Sunday night football. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
This game is incredibly important for the psyche of the Buffalo Bills. Incredibly important. This is a team that the last 2 times you played them have been 2 different disasters, but still 2 disasters. And even setting aside the Damar Hamlin stuff, which is going to bring a flood back, them going into that stadium for sure.
Yeah.
Even setting all of that aside, they had you on the run in the first quarter of that game last year.
Oh man.
They had you on the run. And all the Bills fans kind of dismissed it. And I was one of them because I know our defense always gives up first drive touchdowns and then gets shit under control. And so I kind of dismissed it. And then we walked into that divisional playoff game and you got bitch slapped. You got bitch slapped. That team owned you. So I think this game is very important for the psyche of the Buffalo Bills. And I don't think it's as important for the psyche of the Cincinnati Bengals. Don't get me wrong. They want to win it. I'm not saying they don't. Of course.
Right, right.
But I just think much like the Bills went after being dominated by the Chiefs for so many years, they went into Arrowhead and started winning regular season games to make a point. I think that's going to be the kind of mindset that they have tonight.
Man, so many emotions coming in this game. You know, you got the Bengals, Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd saying what they were saying this week.
Yeah, where did that come from, by the way? Do we have any actual audio of the Bills talking shit?
No, it comes from an interview with Tyler Dunn where Isaiah McKenzie was talking. Basically saying that, you know, if the Bills were playing a game, a style of football that wasn't conducive to winning. Trying to throw the ball with these routes and so forth, and felt like if, you know, on a different day, if the Bills played the Bengals would win. But he didn't even go that to that extent. So fakely, Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase they're kind of building this narrative that the Bills, you know, that think they can beat us and we're here and you know all this just BS, this fake news like
it's the same thing as them saying, better sell those AFC, better give back those AFC championship tickets when their team was selling AFC championship game tickets.
Yeah, the Bengals are the team that creates narratives. They create these narratives to be the underdog. We're also talking about Jamar Chase, who called another team Smurfs this year. Right? Like he comes out and he says some outlandish stuff. These guys are known for coming out and having bulletin board material. And I love that the Bills really haven't said anything about it. I love that. It was kind of like the Dolphins when they came in there with the emoji, like because the Bills were favored to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's going to be like that tonight. And so the Bills have an opportunity, man. I think you can get the monkey off your back this week. I think which will bode well for their confidence. But there's a lot that goes into it because the Bengals are a good team. Joe Burrow and these guys are back. And you know, I think Josh will get up for this game. I'm not worried about Josh's performance, but I am worried about the defense, in particular at corner. What are they going to do?
I think you have to let Rasul play.
He has to start, if you ask me.
It's a very corner-friendly scheme. I think you have to let him play. But you know how much McDermott believes in Dane Jackson. It's fucking crazy.
Dude.
I know he's only been there for a few days, but I think you got to let him play.
Yeah, you do, and I think they will. I think he'll at least do that. My problem is this: is that you got.
Oh, sorry. Something just popped into my head right as
Oh,
you
go
were
ahead.
talking.
Go ahead.
Sorry. What? But here's the thing: it wasn't ever the Bills' defense that I was worried about. Like if you look back at those two games, that 5 quarters of football, the Bills' defense let up 24 in the playoff game,
in the divisional game.
And yes, the Bengals were moving the ball against them. The Bills couldn't fucking score.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not even as concerned about the defense. You got to find a way to put points on the board. How did you let them shut you down last year? I don't care that it was snowing. I don't care. Like, it's the playoffs at home. You got to fucking score. And so, I don't know. That's what just popped into my head when you said that.
No, and you're right. I have more confidence in the offense than I do the defense this year. And only because recently we've seen the emergence of Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid. They got different weapons this year, right?
Bro, that's a lot of hope. That's a lot of hope.
No, but it's not though, because they've shown that it's not like I'm just wishing that they're gonna do something. It's that no, these two guys, Josh Allen had the quickest release time of his entire career, 2.2 seconds. Getting the ball out, letting these guys create. I'm telling you, they're gonna, because they don't look, they're having to play a style of football that they didn't want to start playing this year. You're gonna see them in 11 personnel, and you're gonna see them up tempo offense because of Dawson Knox not being able to play.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be forced into a healthier situation offensively.
I don't know that it's healthier. I think we all just want it to be healthier.
But they've shown it. What do you mean? 11 personnel even before that was great. That's the Ferrari.
It's your other point was right. Get the ball out of your hand. Doesn't matter if it's 11 or 12. He could have been in 12 personnel, and if he gets the ball out of his hand and lets Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid run people over with the football, it's just as effective as in 11 personnel throwing it to Deontay Hardy and letting him create. So that's where my head's at. Yes, I hope 11 personnel goes better than 12 has so far throughout the season, but it's not a fucking silver bullet.
No.
Josh has to play better, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and listen, something else I want to throw out there from 1,000-foot view. This game could be super important for playoff seeding. The Bills aren't even in the division lead right now, and neither are the Bengals. So this game could be the difference in the second round of who has to go play the Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Because if Jacksonville ends up with the 2 seed and these teams are the 3 and the 4 seed, then guess what? Whoever's the 4 seed, if you win, you got to go to Arrowhead. And if both these teams don't pull it out and end up not winning their division, and your first round game is against, so let's say Miami and Baltimore end up taking the 3 and the 4 slots. Well, then you're 5 and 6 with these two teams. And guess what? The 6th seed, guess where they're going if they win their game?
Yeah.
Arrowhead.
Yeah.
So the way that this playoff race is shaping up, these two teams look like they could end up right next to each other, and this tiebreaker game could end up being huge in 2 months.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely enormous. Because if you're the Bills and you're sitting there and you're saying, I can send Joe Burrow to Arrowhead in the second round of the playoffs and maybe not have to play Mahomes, yes, please. And if you're the Bengals and you're saying, yeah, let the 2 big boys duke it out and we'll take whoever's left, yes, please. You know what I mean? So it's just a huge, huge moment for, I think, what will be future playoff seeding.
Yeah, so just an update. Did you see it?
I did.
Okay, so the Dolphins just lost.
Yeah.
Which is great. The Bengals their 3 wins have come against the NFC South. They have not been an AFC team. So the Bills need to get this done.
Good little nugget there, my man.
Yeah, the Bills need to get this win. It's huge. It's a big win. It's a major opportunity. With the Dolphins losing, now you win this game, you're tied for first in the AFC East. So you're kind of taking some control back.
Not tied. Not
Oh,
tied.
they are. No, there's the record-wise they'll be tied, but they will have the tiebreaker against the Dolphins.
You beat them. So
you beat them. So this is huge. The fact that the Chiefs just won this game, and I love the fact that you just mentioned the divisional round of the playoffs, or because the Chiefs, they can never not play a game at Arrowhead in the playoffs. Mahomes has never played a road game in his career.
Never worn white for a playoff game.
So
it's fucking wild.
And you know what? I'm okay with that because when you look at the matchup this year, I like the Bills over the Chiefs with the addition of Rasul, because he is a 6'2" corner that can get physical with Travis Kelce. And they have no weapons outside of Kelce. I know it's Mahomes, and I know it's hard to Josh Allen.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
No, but it's true. So you rewind that to this game, okay? And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you from the Bills' perspective, they got to use RPO. They got to use it tonight, and they got to use James Cook. He has to run the ball.
Is he going to
statistically?
Is he going to start finally, or are we going to see Latavius Murray continue to start for no fucking reason?
Latavius might start, which is, I don't care. But let me tell you a little something. No, it is. You ready
Cook
for this?
Has been great.
You ready for some stats here? The Bengals defensively, okay? They're 28th in overall defense. Okay. According to these are PFF numbers. 29th against the run. They have a worse tackle rate than the Bills at 27. Now they're 4th in pass rush, so they can get pressure. Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, they can get pressure. They're 29th in coverage. So the defensive, now schematically, they're good schematically. Like you got two matchup linebackers and Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson, right? But they're soft at safety because they lost Von Bell, they lost Bates, and corner they're young. Awuzie is coming back from injury. And they got Cam Taylor-Britt, who's an athletic corner. So
I like Cam Taylor-Britt.
I wish the Bills would have got him. However, so we talked about the offense being the what if. They can get this done. I know we don't have a lot of confidence in Josh in terms of like studying, but I think he should have seen enough of this Lou Anaruno defense. He should have an answer by now. This is the third time, so seeing them, he should have an answer by now. And if he doesn't have an answer, we got a whole other issues.
And we might have whole other issues.
We might. So we got to see. So I'm taking the Bills to win this game.
Listen, every time the Bills have been challenged in the regular season over the past 4 years, they have answered the bell. Whether it was dropping a whole bunch of games and trying to crawl back and win the division, whether it was pasting people in 2020 to prove that they belonged, whether it was going into Arrowhead and winning. The Bills have constantly in the regular season answered the bell, and I think they will tonight too.
I think
now
so.
We just need them to answer that bell in the playoffs as well.
Yep.
Which they kind of did once, and then couldn't hold somebody down for 13 seconds. All right, real quick, Monday Night Football. Chargers at Jets kind of looked like a dog shit game, and then all of a sudden it matters. All of a sudden it's a decent game. Jets 4-3, Chargers 3-4, and I think I said to you last week, or maybe it was on the radio, I'm not sure. This AFC, the seventh seed in the AFC is going to be 500. And it's the complete opposite of the NFC. The
Right.
7th seed in the NFC is going to be 500 because the NFC blows. The 7th seed in the AFC is going to be 500 because the AFC is really good. Really good. These are your teams that are in the middle. The Jets with an elite defense. the Chargers with a good quarterback and a couple elite pass rushers. Like this is going to be a dogfight, and that's why it's important for the Bills to win, by the way, to stay out of this middle pack here. Make sure you separate yourself. But it's just, I think this is going to be an incredibly important game when it comes down the stretch for trying to sort out who's going to be at the bottom of that playoff picture.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the Jets in this game. Just because their defense is just elite. It's so good. And I don't have a lot of confidence in Justin Herbert in terms of processing the defense in front of him.
Talk about that.
Justin Herbert is at a stage in his career where he relies on that big arm instead of relying on making the smart play. And I think it's going to get him in trouble this game, just like we see with Josh Allen. Is going to get him in trouble. The Jets are healthier on defense now. Zach Wilson, he gets better every game, slightly, but he's playing better.
Do you know what's amazing about Zach Wilson? When he loses the fear, he's good enough to be an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, it's all in his head. So when you put him in a 2-minute drill and like he's like, fuck it, I gotta sling it or we're gonna lose. All of a sudden he's good.
Yeah.
And what that tells me is that he's too inside his own head the other 58 minutes of the game. Yep. He needs to just let it go and start ripping it. And I don't know if the coaches are doing that to him or what, but he is a capable NFL quarterback. There's a capable NFL quarterback in there somewhere. And I don't know how you get it out, because just like Sam Darnold, if he says I'm seeing ghosts, you're cooked. You can't do it. You need that Sterl's unwavering confidence.
I sell it in bottles.
So sorry, I cut you off there, but I did want to say that about Zach Wilson.
No, yeah, I agree. So I'm inclined to go with the Jets here. I think they can win this game.
Jets plus 3.5 home dogs.
Jets plus 3.5 home dogs.
God, I just I've been on the Charger bandwagon since the beginning of the season, and I don't want to get off yet. I don't believe that this is a bad team.
Well, reality's a motherfucker.
Until they win by 24 on Monday Night Football, and then you're like, well, shit.
No, because they're not.
That defense is so good.
Yeah, I know. They're great. So, yeah.
I guess I'll go Jets plus 3.5, but I'm not comfortable here. I might even sit on it till tomorrow and make a pick tomorrow. So I'll probably tweet it out, because it's just.
I mean, I would definitely take the under if I'm like, but since we're doing the spreads on the show, like we take the spread. But if you're going to bet the game, bet the under.
But I mean, Herbert can go off for 21 points, man. Like that.
But who's shredding this Jets defense? Nobody.
That's true. T-Rex jumping in the chat. My guy, thanks for coming and hanging out during the Sunday NFL betting show. He says, I feel like the Chargers lose games they should win. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the problem. And it's absolutely been a consistent theme with them, but the whole point is they should win them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not ready to give up on this team yet, because there is a ton of talent at pass rusher. And Derwin James is great. And they have pretty good wide receivers. And I think their quarterback is good. And yet they just keep losing games that they shouldn't lose.
Because they like that.
Tell the people you're going to be back next week.
I mean, I could be.
No, that's not what I said.
I know what you said.
That's not what I said. I said tell the people you're going to be back next week.
I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
It'll be a surprise.
No.
It'll be a surprise.
No.
How about that?
No. Tell the people you're going to be back next week.
I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
I'm not, nah. I can't do that. Let's just see. Let's just see.
I know your son's sitting there. Can you hear me?
No.
Okay, well, when you're waking up with some hoochie mama in your bed Sunday morning
You're wrong.
at 8
You're
o'clock in
wrong.
the morning, I want her kicked out and I want you on the stream. Dingleberry says, I don't understand how the Chargers are always in this spot. It really, it
Every
boggles,
freaking year.
it boggles the mind. It really does. And how many different coaches or quarterbacks are we going to go through where they're in this situation every freaking year?
Every damn year.
T-Rex says, LOL, damn. We all know it's true. Do you like how I checked to make sure your son couldn't hear me before?
You awful for that.
So,
You wrong for that.
No, I mean, we know it's true, Stirls.
I've
Some
turned over a
strange
new
in the
leaf.
bed.
New leaf.
Some strange in the bed.
New leaf.
Sunday morning, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I want her kicked out, and I want you on this stream. I mean, actually,
You got it.
I mean, if you want to put her on the stream too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. We'll just do that. Let's just family affair here.
Dingleberry says, I know Keenan Allen is always hurt, but I wish he could get out of there. He is wasted talent. Listen, this is going to be a great hot take to end the show with. I don't think Keenan Allen is great.
It's good.
Great, elite.
He's an
Keenan-
elite route runner.
Dingleberry, I'm telling you, Keenan Allen, good. Not even close to elite. Not even close to elite. Dingleberry, not even close to elite.
You know who's elite? Justin Jefferson
Right.
is elite.
Yes.
Jamar Chase is elite. There's 5 elite wide receivers in the league.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams. I
Stephon
put
Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. Yeah, I put Stephon Diggs in there.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
That's it.
CeeDee Lamb.
No.
Jalen Waddle.
No.
DeAndre Hopkins.
No.
I'm closer on DeAndre Hopkins than you. I think he was maybe a
He
year or
was,
two
but he's
ago.
no longer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
AJ Brown.
AJ
Okay,
Brown's
6.
a good one. T-Rex. Yep, that's a good one.
Out there, I don't think you can name another one outside of that.
Dr. Eagle says Hubbard or Darnell Henderson. Or Darrell.
Oh, Darrell Henderson.
Or Ramondre Stevenson.
Give
Dr.
me
Eagle, why
Ramondre.
are you coming in so late? It's 10:50, bro. Set your lineup. Who you going with?
I give me Ramondre Stevenson.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, in that game, I like Ramondre Stevenson. I think you're right.
Yeah, because if you look at, we don't know if Matthew Stafford's playing, so they're going to key in on the run if Matthew Stafford's not playing, so that's going to eliminate Henderson. Hubbard in a bad offense with the Panthers, I mean, I pass. Darrell Henderson. Ramondre Stevenson.
Your matchups are okay for all of them, I feel like.
Mhm.
But the Commanders just traded away their 2 best defensive linemen, or 2 of their 3 best defensive linemen. So, yeah. T-Rex says Cooper Kupp to add to the elite wide receiver list.
No.
If he's right,
Injuries, man.
if he's right, yeah. If he's right, if you promise me that he's healthy, then sure. But right now in the league, you know what I mean? I don't
Right.
know. And Dingleberry says, "Give me those season stats on Allen versus some of those elite names." He's a very good wide receiver.
He's good.
And a
but he's
good
not
wide
elite.
receiver with a good quarterback can put up great numbers. You know what I mean? A good wide receiver with a bad quarterback puts up shit numbers. Hi, Terry McLaurin. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, I get what you're saying, Dingleberry. I just I don't think Keenan Allen is in that top tier. He's good.
Yeah.
He's really good. Top 15, I'd say. Maybe top
but not
10.
elite.
Maybe top
And
10.
that's okay.
Like right on the edge of the top 10. By the way, and I know I'm keeping you right up to kickoff. I hope that's all right.
Yeah.
But by the way, we had this debate on my radio show about Kirk Cousins.
What about him?
Because one of my guys that I do radio with played with Kirk Cousins, so he loves him. And so he's like, he's an elite quarterback. I'm like, he's not elite. He's like, no, he's top 10. I'm like, okay, well, those aren't the same thing. Top 10 and elite, not the same thing.
No.
He's a top 10 quarterback. I'm like, I could maybe give you a top 10 quarterback if you put him at 8, 9, or 10. And then literally challenged him, and we went through the league and went through all the quarterbacks he would take instead of Kirk Cousins. And guess how many he ended up with?
12.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins was 11.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even you, bro, even you put Kirk Cousins outside of the top 10. So listen,
Yeah.
And then he's like, listen, he's one of the best 10 in the world at his job. And that's not bad. I'm like, I'm not saying that's bad.
That's not
You
elite.
can be good. It's great. Good for you. And I don't know that he's best 10 because Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers exist, and they aren't necessarily quarterbacking teams right now. But he's one of the top 15 guys in the world at his position. Good, great, good for him.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him elite. And I feel like this is the same conversation we're having with Keenan Allen. Dingleberry says we can't be friends anymore. It's okay. But it's the same conversation I'm having. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not elite. I think elite is elite. Elite is a very high prestige, very high honor, and it should be calculated as such. I mean, Keenan Allen's really good. I think he's an elite route runner. That's about the only thing I'll give him elite. Okay, he's one of the top 5 route runners in the league.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't have elite speed. I think he's a very good route runner. His hands are his hands elite? No,
His hands are good.
I give it very good. And I don't think he's got an elite mind. Like Travis Kelce, one of his elite attributes is his head, right? Like he can read defenses as well as Mahomes can and be places to get that ball that other guys aren't.
And why? It's because the man played quarterback.
Did you
at
hear
the collegiate level?
Did you hear the advice he gave? This is blasphemy, Dingleberry says. Did you hear the advice? Somebody walked up to him and said, "Hey, what advice do you have for a rookie?" After a game, it was like an opponent. And he said, "What advice do you have for a rookie?" Did you hear this?
No.
He said, "What advice do you have for a rookie?" And Kelce takes a second and then gives him a genuine answer, which I thought was great, and said, "Know what the other team is trying to do. Know what the other team is trying to do. Because if you know what they're trying to do to you, you can know what you need to do to stop it." And that's how I made my living.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic advice. It should be something that's very obvious in the NFL. Not everybody does it, though.
Yep.
Dingleberry, we love you, man. But Keenan Allen, most decidedly, not elite.
Not elite.
Not elite. All right. Let's wrap this thing up. What games are you going to watch? About 5 minutes away from Red Zone kicking off here.
Sheesh.
I
don't know.
What's going to be
I'll probably Seattle. Ravens.
What's going to be your solo game that you're going to do?
The Ravens.
Ravens Seahawks. Let's see what else for the 11 o'clocks. Nope. Ravens Seahawks. Nope. 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 Yep. Ravens Seahawks.
Yep. That's it.
That's the one. That's the one. All right. Guys, subscribe, follow. Please go find my guy Sturls on social media and hound him about being in Vegas and not coming on the show. mercilessly next week, and we'll see if we can get him to go live from Vegas. That face says no, is what that face says to me. But we'll see if we can.
We'll see.
Appreciate everybody for hanging out. If you are so inclined, we love subscriptions. That is everything to me. So do that if you can. And yeah, anything else you want to say before we get out of here, Sterls?
Go Bills.
Go Bills. Fucking right. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's
I don't
get
even
it.
have to worry about the Broncos today. It's all about the Bills. Let's fucking go. All right, T-Rex says enjoy the games, y'all. I hope you do. Dingleberry, we're saying goodbye. What happened to Colorado? They can't block anybody. That's what fucking happened to CU. They haven't been able to block anybody all year. We knew it was going to be a problem, and guess what? It's a fucking problem. All right.
Yep.
Love y'all, and make sure you join us next week. I will be doing a Monday Night Football watch along, so come along and hang out for that for sure. And make sure you're back next week for our NFL pregame show. We never say goodbye. We say see you soon. Dingleberry says, I like that. That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Yeah.